what makes the best podcast. That's why I reckon it's...
Absolutely.
Hang on. That's a pop culture mug. Look out.
It is. If you want to screen grab this.
Oh, I will. That will be screen grabbed for sure. Look at that. That's fantastic.
Funny story, this mug, because it took about 8 weeks to get to my house, and you live about 14 kilometres away.
Well, we're in a pandemic. I don't know if you're aware. Postage has just been...
I don't want to hear that, because I saw your Instagram stories are inundated with from other people who probably live not even as close as I do, and they seem to get their mugs just in time.
Well, they were within my 5K, so I could just drop it off. That was the difference. So, and you know, there's a difference, Bob, between ordering on time and ordering a couple of weeks late, which, you know, I'd hate to point a finger, but that's what you did. So.
Oh, well, maybe. That's fair enough. I did it. No, actually, no. I don't think that's true. I think I ordered that as soon as you put something out saying, "Hey, getting the feelers out there. Who would want a mug?" And I said yes. And I believe you messaged me personally after that, and you're like, "Hey, are you sure you want one?" Because
it was a half-hearted
17 quid a pop, and yeah, I know what you mean, because you get a lot of people who want to be supportive.
You do.
But I love mugs. Yeah, I love mugs.
My mug collection is at a point where it's got its own shelf, like a full shelf. You know how sometimes I feel like you can have enough mugs to do half a shelf of mugs, and then the other half is maybe glasses. You don't need a whole heap of mugs. But when you're at a point like me, I collect different mugs. I've got talk show mugs. I've got pop culture mugs. I don't know why the mugs are a fascination with me. They just are.
What goes through your mind between the mug that can be used and the mug that goes straight to the shelf? Is there something where you're like, I'm not going to drink out of this?
I'll give you an example. Just bear with me. So I don't know if you remember or anyone remembers Cork Productions. Do you remember that?
Absolutely.
So that sort of started it all for me. And so therefore, obviously, it's not a drinkable mug. It's a pen mug, because a pen mug's less likely to be broken, I think. I've had numerous mugs broken in the wash. So
yeah,
I think
it's something that's sentimental started it all. So you reckon I should stop drinking out of my under 12s second B&F mug? Is that what you're saying?
I can't believe you are. That's mind blowing. I would have that on a shelf, maybe a pencil. That's a holder.
The reason I asked about the mugs is because you're awfully particular with certain things, and it's somewhat, excuse my lack of another word, but a little bit spectrumy on that sort of. You've got the mug thing. Now there is a story about. I mean, you don't like things getting a little bit dirtied, a little bit.
Oh yeah, a bit OCD.
Well, it's more than that, because you would rather keep something in pristine condition than, I would say, let it have a little bit of character. I think character plays a huge role in our lives, Daniel. And I think if that Cork Productions mug behind you had a nice stain on it, you would be able to tell a fantastic story about that stain.
It's I do. There is something to what you're saying. And I think there's two sides of it. Like, if it's a self-inflicted stain, sure. But when you're living in a house with other people, if somebody else damages something, that's when I've got more of an issue. If I damage something, it's less of an issue. But if somebody else takes it in their hands to damage something of mine, then that's when I struggle to deal with it. So, case in point, I borrowed a book to you once. I lent a book to you.
I borrowed the book, yeah.
Yeah, said book
That's where
came back. Said book came back with a spaghetti stain, Ben, on the front cover of a book that was actually a white cover. Now,
it was linguine marinara for starters. I just wanted to make that clear.
My point is, a book is a good example of something I like in good nick. I hate when the spine bends. I hate that.
I'm the opposite. I think a book that has a little bit of linguine on it and a little bit of, a couple of dog ears, I think it just means it's had more stories to it. And by the way, this story that you like to tell every now and then as well about this linguine stain is it gets accentuated every time you tell the story. If you told this story just to a random person, they would think the whole book is covered. But it's the tiniest little speck.
Yeah, but it may as well be the whole book. The whole book's tarnished now.
The whole book's tarnished.
It may as well be, Ben. That linguine stain may as well be on every page. And as far as I'm concerned, the book's a write-off. You can have it if you want it.
Oh, done. That's actually why I wanted to do this
That's
because
what you're angling for.